What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Lever Talks. My name is Rob, and today we are going to be looking at UFC highlights of 2021. So we started the year with UFC 257, Mcgregor vs Poirier 2. Mcgregor hadn't fought in a while. Last fight he had was a year ago versus Cerrone. Obviously Poirier's been active. Unexpected result. Poirier knocked out Mcgregor, but again, fantastic start to the year with a massive pay-per-view fight. Then we had obviously Dan Hook and Michael Chandler fight on that card too. Michael Chandler took the win on that. You move into UFC 258. We had Usman versus Burns. Obviously some drama and controversy about them being old friends and fighting. And then we had UFC 259, which was Yan versus Adesanya. Adesanya had a shot at the light heavyweight title, but Yan defended it. We obviously then had UFC Fight Night, which was UFC Fight Night, Edwards versus Belal Muhammad. Edwards comes back after not fighting for 2 years. He wins by eye poke, controversial fight that was. And then we had UFC 260, Stipe versus Francis Ngannou. Francis Ngannou looked like one scary guy, ends up beating Stipe to win the heavyweight world championship. Then we had UFC 261, which was Usman versus Masvidal. That was the rematch, which Usman dropped Masvidal with an absolute beauty right overhand. And then on that same card, we also had Rose Namajunas versus Wheili Zang. And Rose won the, I think it was strawweight championship. And also on that card, Valentina Scvencho defends her belt against Jessica Andrade. We had UFC 262 for the lightweight championship, Chandler versus Oliveira. Fantastic fight that was. Obviously, Oliveira won by TKO. On that card, we also had Tony Ferguson versus Belal Dariush, where Belal Dariush kind of cemented himself in the top 5 of the lightweight division. And we also had UFC 268, Adesanya versus Vetori, where Adesanya made Vetori look extremely stupid, but a lot of good build-up and drama talk all the way up into that fight. Also on that card, we had Figueiredo versus Moerno. Moerno took the flyweight championship. And we also had the Leon Diaz fight, which, if we all remember, Diaz wobbled Leon Edwards in the last couple minutes there of the fight. And then obviously, as just what I just said, UFC 264 then came along, which was the Poirier McGregor 3. That was a fantastic build-up. McGregor was spiteful, vengeful, came into the old arena, just pumped up, ready to go. And obviously, the outcome of that fight, we all know, is McGregor broke his ankle/leg, and unfortunately has been out ever since. We also had TJ Dillashaw return, fight Sandhagen, and won. In my opinion, I think Sandhagen won that fight. But for everyone who loves TJ Dillashaw, I'm sure they said he won. And shortly after, we've had UFC 265, which was Derrick Lewis versus Ciryl Gane for the interim heavyweight title, which was an unexpected interim title fight, considering that Francis Ngannou had just recently won against Stipe. We also saw Darren Till lose again to Derek Brunson on UFC Fight Night. Derek Brunson versus Till. We also saw a great war on UFC 266. Volkanovski versus Brian Ortega. That was a really good fight if anyone who sat and watched that. And then also on that card, we had Valentina Shevchenko also defend her title again. We also had the return of Nick Diaz versus Robbie Lawler, where Robbie Lawler took that win. So that was a great fight card, but I think we can all agree we don't want to see Nick Diaz fight again. We also had Paulo Costa versus Vetori. What a shit show that was with Paulo Costa's weigh-in. We also saw at UFC 267, Yan versus Teixeira, and obviously we all know now that Teixeira is the new light heavyweight champion. Also, we saw Peter Yan versus Sandhagen on that card, as well as Islam Makhachev versus Dan Hooker. What else did we have? We had Usman versus Covington 2 at UFC 268. That was a good card. We also on that card we had Rose Namajunas defend again Wheili Zang. That went the full 5 rounds, and we also probably had the fight of the year, no doubt, which was Michael Chandler versus Justin Gaethje. Following that, we had a UFC Fight Night, Max Holloway versus Alex Rodriguez. That was also a 5-round war as well. And obviously, to finish out kind of the big UFC fights for the year, we had Oliveira versus Poirier for the lightweight championship, and Oliveira took that by a 3rd round choke. And we also, on that card, we saw Amanda Nunes lose to Juliana Piena, which was another devastating loss that we were not expecting for 2022. So all in all, it was a crazy 2021. The outcomes of the fights probably were fairly, you could probably predict most of them. I think obviously the biggest fights was the Poirier McGregor fights, but you know, there were some absolute fantastic fights this year without a doubt, and I'm excited to see what 2022 brings as a whole. I think, you know, not to miss out some of the fight nights, but I mean, we got to talk about, you know, the upcoming Sean O'Malley, who's kind of up and coming and has won a lot of fights this year. You also got Paddy the Baddy Pimblett, did his UFC debut, as well as Alex Pereira. You've also got the likes of Khamzat Chimaev coming back, trying to find fights. You've got Islam Makhachev rising through the lightweight division, and obviously many more. You know, Jose Aldo is on a win streak now, kind of peaking for the 2nd time. Like, there's so many different things happening. So it's been a good 2021, and I look forward to bringing you more content for 2022. And yeah, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. If you like this video, please hit that like, that subscribe, and hit that little bell that notifies you the next time I go live. But so I look forward to a 2022, and I will see you on the next one.